Here's a fact that should make every homeowner pause. There is a plain white powder that has been killing insects since long before human beings existed. It works against ants, fleas, bedbugs, cockroaches, mites, ticks, beetles, slugs, earwigs, and more than 100 other pests. It does not leave behind the kind of chemical residue people worry about, and insects cannot learn their way around it because it does not attack their nerves or hormones. It attacks their bodies at the microscopic level. Welcome to Buried Fixes. This powder is registered for pest control use, accepted in many organic growing systems, and when it is the proper food-grade type, it is considered low in toxicity for people and animals when used correctly. Yet most homeowners still spend hundreds of dollars a year on repeat pest control visits, while this same solution can sit quietly on a shelf for the price of a small bag of soil amendment. So what is it? It is called diatomaceous earth, and the reason it works is stranger than most people expect. This is not a modern chemical invention. It began millions of years ago at the bottom of ancient lakes and oceans, where microscopic algae called diatoms lived, died, and slowly built up layers of glass-like shells. Those layers became rock. That rock was mined, crushed, and turned into a powder that looks soft to us. But to an insect, it is something completely different. To understand why diatomaceous earth works so well, you have to start far away from pest control, far before hardware stores, spray bottles, and exterminator contracts. You have to go back roughly 30 million years to the quiet bottoms of ancient lakes, rivers, and oceans. There lived tiny single-celled algae called diatoms. They were so small that you would never notice one with the naked eye, but each of them carried something remarkable: a shell made from silica. Silica is the same basic material found in quartz and glass. In other words, these organisms were wrapped in microscopic armor made of natural glass. For millions upon millions of years, diatoms floated in water, multiplied, died, and sank. Their fragile glass shells settled layer after layer on the bottom, slowly forming thick deposits. Over time, pressure turned those deposits into a soft, chalky, sedimentary rock. That rock is what we mine today. Once it is dug out of the earth, it is crushed and ground into a fine white powder. To a person, it feels harmless, almost like flour, chalk, or talcum powder. You can touch it and barely feel anything unusual. That is why so many people underestimate it. But scale changes everything. At human size, it looks soft. At insect size, every particle becomes a jagged shard of ancient glass. The powder is not dangerous because it is poisonous. It is dangerous to insects because it is sharp, dry, and perfectly designed by nature to destroy the one layer they depend on to stay alive. Now imagine the world from the size of an ant. What feels like a soft white dust to your fingers is not soft at all at that scale. Under a microscope, diatomaceous earth looks like broken pieces of fossilized glass, tiny, irregular, sharp-edged fragments left behind by ancient diatoms. An insect's body is protected by an outer shell called an exoskeleton. But that shell is not just armor. On the outside of it is a thin, waxy layer that helps the insect hold moisture inside its body. Without that layer, the insect begins to lose water through its surface. That is where diatomaceous earth does its work. When a cockroach, flea, ant, bedbug, mite, beetle, or other crawling pest walks through a light dusting of this powder, the particles cling to its body. The sharp edges scratch and damage that waxy coating. At the same time, the powder absorbs oils and fats from the surface of the exoskeleton. The insect is not poisoned. It is not shocked. It is not paralyzed. It dries out. Slowly, the protective barrier fails. Moisture escapes, and the insect dehydrates from the outside in. This is why diatomaceous earth is so different from ordinary chemical pesticides. Chemical sprays usually target a specific biological system: the nervous system, growth hormones, reproduction, or metabolism. Over time, insect populations can adapt to those chemical attacks. The survivors reproduce, and resistance spreads. But diatomaceous earth does not ask the insect's biology for permission. It uses physics. There is no nerve receptor to mutate around, no enzyme pathway to change, no chemical formula for the insect to detoxify. The powder damages the physical structure of its outer body. That is why resistance is considered extremely unlikely. An insect may evolve around a toxin, but it cannot easily evolve around being cut open and dried out by microscopic glass. So how fast does it work? That depends on the insect. Diatomaceous earth is not a dramatic instant kill spray. It does not knock pests down in seconds for the camera. It works more quietly than that. But once the insect has crossed the powder and the damage begins, the result is hard to reverse. Soft-bodied pests, like aphids or small larvae, may begin dying within 12 to 24 hours. Fleas and bedbugs often take around 1 to 3 days. Larger insects with tougher outer shells, like cockroaches and beetles, may take several days, sometimes 3 to 7, before the dehydration process finishes. That delay is one reason people underestimate it. We are used to products that look powerful because they act immediately, but immediate does not always mean lasting. A chemical spray may kill what it touches today, then fade, evaporate, break down, or leave gaps where new pests return. A dry layer of diatomaceous earth simply stays where you put it. As long as it remains dry and undisturbed, it can keep working for weeks, months, and in protected spaces, like wall voids, under floors, or behind appliances, potentially much longer. And the list of pests it can affect is broad. Ants, roaches, fleas, bed bugs, silverfish, earwigs, ticks, mites, beetles, pantry weevils, fungus gnats, slugs around garden beds, and crawling insects that travel across treated surfaces. One powder, one physical mechanism, no complicated rotation of chemicals, no need to match a different poison to every pest. If the insect depends on a waxy outer layer to survive, diatomaceous earth turns that weakness against it. Now comes the uncomfortable question. If this powder exists, if it has been documented for decades, if it is used in farming, food storage, gardens, homes, and animal areas, then why are so many people still paying hundreds of dollars every year for repeat pest control treatments? Why does a homeowner get quoted $400, $800, or even more for annual service plans, while a bag of food-grade diatomaceous earth can cost less than a single fast food meal? The answer is not that diatomaceous earth is magic. It is not. It has limits, and we will talk about those honestly. But the bigger issue is the business model. Most pest control services are built around repeat visits. A technician comes, sprays. The chemical residue weakens over time. New insects arrive. Eggs hatch. Moisture and weather interfere. And the customer schedules another treatment. That cycle is not an accident. It is how the industry stays profitable. Diatomaceous earth does not fit neatly into that cycle. Applied correctly in dry, hidden travel zones, it does not need to evaporate into the air, break down on a schedule, or be replaced every few weeks just to keep the customer dependent. It waits. A cockroach crosses it today. It works. A silverfish crosses it next month. It works. A flea larva moves through a dry, treated crack later. It still works. That makes it less exciting as a commercial product, but more powerful as household knowledge. And that is the part worth noticing. Some solutions are not forgotten because they failed. Some are forgotten because they are too simple, too cheap, and too hard to turn into a monthly bill. Here is how to use it correctly, because most failures come from bad application. First, use food-grade diatomaceous earth only. That detail matters. There are industrial forms of diatomaceous earth used in pool filters and filtration systems, but those products are not the same thing. They may be heat-treated, structurally changed, or mixed with additives that do not belong in your home, pantry, garden, or animal areas. For household pest control, look for the words "food grade" on the label. Second, do not pour it in thick piles. More powder does not mean better results. In fact, heavy piles can make insects avoid the area completely. The goal is a thin, almost invisible dusting across the places pests already travel. Think of cracks, edges, and hidden paths, along baseboards, behind the refrigerator, under the stove, around door frames, inside cabinet corners, under sinks where it stays dry, near entry points, and inside wall voids if you can safely reach them. A small powder duster or squeeze bottle works better than your hand because it spreads the powder in a fine, even layer. For bed bugs, keep the layer extremely thin. Apply it under the mattress, around bed frame joints, inside the bed base, and along the bedroom baseboards. Then leave it alone. The powder needs time and contact. It is not a fog bomb, it is a long-term barrier. In gardens, apply after morning dew has dried, and only when rain is not expected. Dust lightly around the base of plants, raised beds, fence lines, and dry hiding places where crawling pests move. Around chicken coops, rabbit hutches, dog kennels, and storage sheds. Focus on dry cracks and perimeter zones. For stored grain or pantry protection, food-grade diatomaceous earth has long been used to help control weevils and beetles by coating grain surfaces. Always follow the label rate for any product used around food, because different formulations may have different directions. Used this way, diatomaceous earth becomes less like a spray and more like a silent trap, waiting exactly where insects have no choice but to walk. Now let's be honest about the limits, because this is where people often use diatomaceous earth the wrong way and then assume it does not work. The first limitation is moisture. Diatomaceous earth works best when it is dry. Once it gets wet, the particles clump together, and the sharp microscopic edges cannot make proper contact with the insect's outer layer. In that condition, it becomes much less effective. Outdoors, rain, heavy dew, sprinklers, or humid soil can reduce its power quickly. That means garden and yard applications may need to be repeated after wet weather. Indoors, the story is different. In dry spaces, behind appliances, inside wall gaps, under floors, along baseboards, or in protected cracks, it can keep working for a very long time, as long as the powder is not vacuumed up, washed away, or buried under grease and dirt. The second limitation is eggs. Diatomaceous earth kills active insects that crawl through it. It does not reliably kill eggs before they hatch. So with pests like fleas, roaches, or bed bugs, you need to keep the treated area in place long enough to catch the next generation as they emerge and begin moving. And finally, there is a simple safety rule. Do not breathe clouds of any fine dust. When applying a lot of powder, especially indoors or in tight spaces, wear a basic dust mask. Food-grade diatomaceous earth is low in toxicity, but fine particles can still irritate your lungs, eyes, or throat if you inhale too much at once. And that is what makes this powder so fascinating. Something that began with microscopic algae at the bottom of prehistoric lakes is still useful today in kitchens, gardens, barns, basements, and bedrooms. 30 million years of natural glass shells, compressed into rock, ground into dust, and still working through the same simple rule. Insects cannot survive when the layer that protects their moisture is destroyed. No flashy chemical promise, no expensive contract, no complicated system. Just an old solution that most people were never told to look for. So if this helped you, share it with someone who is still paying for repeated chemical treatments and wondering why the pests keep coming back. Buried fixes like this only stay buried when nobody talks about them. Subscribe to Buried Fixes, and I'll see you in the next one.